We have little time left to save the planet. So we have to do whatever we can as fast as possible.
Over the years, history has proven time and again that truth can be stranger than fiction. But what if the future was already written?
Almost every year, Putin survives at least one assassination attempt.
Today, we're diving into 10 mind-bending prophecies for 2025. Predictions that could reshape countries, spark revolutions, and even take humanity beyond Earth itself.
So I think we want to do everything we can to extending life beyond Earth and ultimately to other star systems.
This video will have you questioning how much of tomorrow is destiny and how much we can still change.
CRISPR as an editor for the genome. It's a way of changing the code of life in a precise fashion.
Putin's assassination prophecy. History has a way of repeating itself, especially when it comes to leaders facing threats in troubled times. Russian President Vladimir Putin is no exception. The late Bulgarian clairvoyant Baba Vanga, famous for her bold and mysterious predictions, once foretold that 2025 could bring an assassination attempt on Putin by none other than someone within his own circle. Imagine the shock of betrayal coming from inside his own ranks. It raises a chilling question. Is internal unrest brewing in Russia?
Like and subscribe right now, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week.
This isn't the first time Putin's life has been in danger. Over the years, multiple assassination plots have come to light. Take May 2022, for example, when Major General Kirill Budanov from Ukraine confirmed an attempt on Putin's life in the Caucasus region, shortly after the Russia-Ukraine war began. Or consider 2012, when Russian and Ukrainian security forces uncovered a plot to kill Putin just before his presidential campaign. Go even further back, and you'll find attempts in 2003 and 2002, involving everything from car bombs to sniper attacks, and even international conspiracies. Baba Vanga's predictions have always sparked debate. Some call her a fraud. Others believe her visions are far too accurate to ignore. Her followers point to past predictions about global unrest that seem eerily similar to events we've seen. Could this be the year one of her boldest prophecies about Putin comes true? And her warnings don't stop there. Vanga also spoke of terrifying scenarios involving biological or nuclear weapons in Europe, causing widespread panic. She predicted escalating terrorist activities that could destabilize entire regions. If Putin were to fall, would his assassination ignite chaos across Europe, or even the world? But this is where things get even more concerning. Her prediction about Putin connects directly to another grim vision, one that could engulf the entire world. Europe's path to war. Could 2025 mark the beginning of World War III? Baba Vanga's dark prophecy about worsening conflict in Europe hints at the unthinkable, a global catastrophe. The ongoing Russia-Ukraine war is already a dangerous flashpoint, but what if it spirals out of control, pulling other nations into a larger confrontation? History shows us that wars don't happen by accident. They often come from a toxic mix of resource shortages, ideological clashes, and territorial disputes. Right now, the growing tensions between NATO and Russia, the uneasy standoff in the Taiwan Strait, and the rivalry between the US and China all point to a perfect storm. Vanga's prophecy warns about resource wars over water, rare earth minerals, and even food, basic necessities that could drive nations to extremes. Modern warfare would bring terrifying new dimensions. Imagine cyber attacks shutting down entire economies, artificial intelligence being used as weapons, or satellites being sabotaged, plunging countries into darkness. Just one major cyber attack could provoke a chain reaction. How far would world leaders go to retaliate? There's more to worry about. Environmental disasters could add fuel to this fire. Think about climate change forcing mass migrations, governments collapsing under pressure, and countries fighting over newly accessible resources in the Arctic. Even current tensions between nuclear-armed India and Pakistan over Kashmir could flare up, with devastating consequences. Yet, despite these grim possibilities, history shows there's always hope. We've seen global crises diffused through diplomacy and cooperation. The question is, will today's world leaders choose peace over war? Can humanity learn from the past, or are we headed for chaos? These predictions paint a frightening picture, but they also remind us that our future isn't set in stone. As terrifying as these possibilities sound, there's still time to change course. Let's hope the next chapter of history is one of collaboration, not destruction. The terrifying possibility of a global war reminds us how fragile life on Earth can be. But while conflict threatens to tear our world apart, others are looking to the stars for humanity's next chapter. Elon Musk's bold vision to land humans on Mars within 4 years offers a radically different future. One where we leave Earth's troubles behind and take our first steps toward becoming an interplanetary species. Humans on Mars. For decades, the idea of humans walking on Mars has felt like something straight out of science fiction. But to Elon Musk, it's not a dream, it's a plan. The SpaceX founder believes the first humans could land on the red planet in as little as 4 years. It sounds ambitious, but Musk has a history of turning bold ideas into reality. His reusable Falcon rockets have already changed space travel, making it more affordable and proving that private companies can lead the way in space exploration. NASA is also working on getting humans to Mars, but their timeline is much slower. Back in 2016, Musk was already predicting Mars launches within 6 years, even though the heavy rockets needed didn't exist yet. Fast forward to today, and SpaceX's Starship rockets are real, undergoing tests and paving the way for a new era of space exploration. While creating a Martian city of 1 million people in 20 years seems unlikely, experts agree that regular cargo and crewed flights could happen soon. Musk's big claims aren't just about science, they're about inspiring people. Investors, engineers, and the public all get excited by his bold visions, which is part of what keeps SpaceX at the cutting edge. According to experts like Harvard's Matthew Weinzierl, SpaceX thrives on making the impossible seem possible. Musk's timeline isn't just a goal, it's a way to keep momentum, attract talent, and fuel enthusiasm for the mission to Mars. Of course, missions to Mars won't be cheap. The Apollo program, for example, cost $280 billion in today's dollars. Musk, even with his massive $250 billion fortune, can't fund this alone. But his vision has sparked interest and conversations between governments and private companies, setting the stage for partnerships that could make it happen. Whether or not Musk can achieve this goal in 4 years, one thing is certain: his bold declarations are keeping the dream of Mars exploration alive. They remind us of what humanity can achieve when we dare to think big. While Elon Musk dreams of Mars, a different kind of revolution is happening right here on Earth. As we look to the stars, the global shift to renewable energy is already transforming how we power our world, offering hope for a more sustainable future. Renewable energy revolution. The way the world produces and uses energy is changing faster than ever before. Fossil fuels, which powered the Industrial Revolution and became the backbone of global energy, are losing their grip. Renewable energy sources are taking over, and the numbers prove it. Back in 2009, fossil fuels made up 84% of the world's energy use, with renewables barely hitting 6%. But by 2021, the story looked very different. Wind energy production had grown almost 10 times, and solar energy had skyrocketed. By 2022, renewables made up 90% of all new power capacity added around the world. That's a massive tipping point. The International Energy Agency, or IEA, predicts that by 2024, the total renewable energy capacity will be on par with the power grids of both China and the US combined. But this isn't just about going green, it's also about money. The cost of solar power has dropped by 85% since 2010, making it the cheapest energy option in many places. Wind energy has also become much more affordable, making renewables accessible even to lower-income nations. This shift hasn't been easy, though. Governments still spend about $7 trillion a year subsidizing fossil fuels, far more than the $4.5 trillion needed annually to reach net zero emissions by 2050. Despite these challenges, the benefits of switching to renewables are clear. Cleaner energy cuts pollution, helps fight climate change, and could save the world up to $4.2 trillion a year by 2030. The rise of renewable energy is more than just a technological change. It's reshaping economies and societies. As countries race to cut carbon emissions, renewables offer a path to a cleaner, more sustainable future. This isn't just about saving the planet. It's about building a better world for generations to come. The global shift to renewable energy is proof that technology can reshape entire industries and improve our lives. But energy isn't the only part of modern living undergoing a revolution. As we rethink how we power the world, another transformation is taking place on our roads: the rise of autonomous vehicles. This groundbreaking shift is set to change not just how we drive, but how we live, commute, and even design our cities. Autonomous vehicle future. The future of how we travel is changing fast, with autonomous vehicles, or AVs, leading the way. This market is expected to bring in an unbelievable $300 billion to $400 billion in revenue. But this isn't just about cars that can drive themselves. It's a complete shift in how we think about getting from one place to another. Imagine sitting in your car, but instead of driving, you're catching up on your favorite series, chatting with friends over video call, or even finishing work assignments, all while the car handles the road. Autonomous driving technology could turn boring commutes into productive or relaxing experiences. It could even change the way cities are built, encouraging people to live farther from crowded urban areas and giving new life to rural and suburban neighborhoods. One of the biggest promises of AVs is safety. Advanced driver assistance systems, or ADAS, are already reducing accidents, and studies predict these systems could cut crashes in Europe by 15% by 2030. For elderly drivers, who often rely on public transport or others for rides, AVs could bring back independence. For everyone else, the roads could become safer and less stressful. The technology driving this transformation is mind-blowing. From LiDAR sensors to advanced systems that allow cars to operate with almost no human involvement, the leap from basic driver assist features to full autonomy is happening fast. Some cars already come with Level 2 plus driving capabilities, which can handle steering, braking, and acceleration in certain conditions. These features make vehicles more expensive, but people are willing to pay. Experts say buyers already spend an extra $1,500 to $2,000 on vehicles with these capabilities, and costs will likely rise as even more advanced tech hits the market. It's not just about convenience or safety, there's a huge financial upside. The auto industry could make billions, not just from selling AVs to consumers, but also from commercial uses like autonomous delivery trucks and ride-sharing fleets. As these vehicles become more common, they'll completely reshape modern transportation. While autonomous vehicles are transforming our roads, gene editing is rewriting life as we know it. This technology isn't just changing how we tackle diseases, it's reshaping healthcare, agriculture, and even conservation. Gene editing breakthroughs. The ability to edit the very code of life sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's already here, changing the way we treat diseases and grow food. By 2027, the gene editing industry is expected to be worth $36 billion, and its possibilities are just starting to unfold. At the center of this revolution is CRISPR, a tool that has already earned its creators a Nobel Prize. But the technology is evolving quickly. Next-generation techniques like base editing and prime editing are taking things to the next level. Unlike CRISPR, which works by cutting DNA, these new tools offer greater precision and reduce the risk of unintended changes. Prime editing, for example, has already fixed genetic mutations responsible for diseases like sickle cell anemia, proving just how powerful this technology can be. But gene editing isn't only about curing illnesses. It could completely change the way we grow food. By tweaking the genetic makeup of crops, scientists are working to create plants that can survive extreme weather, waste less water, and resist pests, all without the need for harmful pesticides. These advancements could solve major food security challenges and help combat climate change. However, concerns about safety and regulation still hold back widespread use. The benefits don't stop at plants. Gene editing could also tackle antimicrobial resistance, or AMR, which is a growing global problem. By editing the DNA of livestock, scientists hope to reduce AMR cases linked to agriculture, making farming safer and more sustainable. And there's even more. Conservationists are exploring how gene editing could save endangered animals, or even bring back extinct ones. Imagine a world where species thought to be lost forever could be revived. But this raises big questions about ethics and responsibility. Just because we can edit life, does it mean we should? Gene editing sits at the edge of innovation and morality. It has the power to change industries, save lives, and even shape ecosystems. But as science moves forward, the tough questions about its limits and impact are only going to grow. This technology doesn't just promise breakthroughs. It challenges humanity to rethink what's possible and what's right. But what if science could offer a solution so advanced it feels straight out of a sci-fi movie? That's where nanobots come in. Tiny machines that could change the future of medicine and even help us fight cancer. Nanobots fighting cancer. Imagine machines so small you can't even see them, yet powerful enough to take on one of the deadliest diseases in the world. These are nanobots, tiny robots that measure between 1 and 100 nanometers. Scientists are working on groundbreaking ways to use them in healthcare, and cancer treatment is one of their most exciting possibilities. One idea involves nanobots that mimic red blood cells. Back in the 1990s, a futurist named Robert Freitas Jr. came up with a concept called respirocytes, artificial red blood cells that could carry oxygen and carbon dioxide through the bloodstream. These tiny bots, which are 6 times smaller than natural red blood cells, could squeeze into even the smallest capillaries, delivering oxygen more efficiently than our own cells. But here's the real game changer. Nanobots could attack cancer cells with incredible precision. In 2012, researchers created nanobots that worked like white blood cells, patrolling the bloodstream and searching for tumors. Once they found a tumor, they released tiny doses of drugs or nanoparticles that forced the cancer cells to self-destruct. This approach only targets the cancer cells, leaving healthy cells unharmed. It could eliminate the painful side effects of treatments like chemotherapy. In recent experiments, scientists injected nanobots into test subjects to shrink tumors by cutting off their blood supply. These bots carried tiny amounts of blood-clotting drugs, which they released directly around the tumors. By stopping the flow of nutrients, the tumors couldn't grow and began to shrink. And it's not just cancer. Nanobots could be used in many other medical breakthroughs. They could help create artificial blood for transfusions or improve oxygen delivery in people with heart or lung problems. These tiny machines could change the way we think about medicine, and the day when they become widely available might not be far off. But while science is racing toward this incredible future, another development is reigniting debates that go back centuries. As scientists push the limits of technology, some are turning to ancient traditions for answers. Few topics stir as much curiosity and controversy as the idea of rebuilding the Third Temple in Jerusalem. Rebuilding the Third Temple. The idea of rebuilding the Third Temple in Jerusalem is one of the most debated and intriguing topics in both religion and history. For some, it's not just a historical project. It's deeply tied to biblical prophecies that they believe could change the world. The first 2 temples in Jerusalem were central to Jewish worship. The first temple was built under King Solomon, while the second temple was reconstructed after the Babylonian exile. But in AD 70, the second temple was destroyed. And for nearly 2,000 years, its absence has left an open question. Will a third temple ever rise? Some people believe the Bible provides clues. The book of Daniel describes sacrifices coming to an end during the end times, leading many to think a new temple must be built for these events to happen. In the New Testament, Jesus refers to the abomination of desolation standing in the holy place, sparking further speculation about the temple's role in future events. However, building a third temple isn't simple. The Temple Mount, where the Second Temple once stood, is now home to the Islamic Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. This makes it one of the most contested sites in the world. While Israel controls the area, Jordan oversees its religious administration, and any move to rebuild the temple would face strong opposition from the Muslim world. Despite these challenges, some groups in Israel are actively preparing for the temple's reconstruction. They've designed architectural plans, trained priests in ancient rituals, and even created replicas of temple artifacts. For these groups, the Third Temple isn't just a dream, it's something they're working toward in the present. But is the time right? Ezekiel's vision of a temple, described in chapters 40-48 of the Bible, adds to the mystery. Some wonder if it's meant to be built now or in the distant future. Others believe it will only appear when Christ returns, as part of a divine plan. The debate about the Third Temple blends faith, history, and politics in a way that few topics can. It raises questions not just about prophecy, but also about its impact on the modern world. And as the idea gains attention, people around the globe are left wondering what its reconstruction would mean for the future. But imagine a future where computers can solve problems so complex they've been considered impossible until now. That's exactly what quantum computing is set to do, and it's already making waves in ways that could change everything. Quantum computing breakthroughs. The idea of quantum computing might sound like something out of science fiction, but it's becoming a reality that could change industries and even the way we think about problem solving. Unlike regular computers that use binary bits, essentially a system of zeros and ones, quantum computers work with qubits. Qubits can exist in more than one state at the same time, thanks to quantum mechanics. This allows them to solve incredibly complex problems at speeds that traditional computers could never achieve. Back in 2019, Google made headlines when it announced quantum supremacy. That means they built a quantum computer that solved a complex problem faster than the most powerful supercomputer in the world. To give you an idea of the difference, this quantum computer completed the task in 200 seconds, while the supercomputer would have taken 10,000 years. This milestone showed just how powerful quantum computing could be. The possibilities are endless. Quantum computing could crack super secure encryption codes, completely changing the way we think about cybersecurity. It could also analyze massive amounts of data in seconds, helping researchers simulate how molecules interact for drug discovery. Imagine curing diseases faster, or finding new treatments that we can't even imagine yet. Then there's quantum supremacy itself, a moment that signals when quantum computers officially outperform traditional ones. Businesses could use this technology to predict market trends with incredible accuracy or optimize investment strategies. In healthcare, it might help create personalized medicines designed for an individual's unique genetic makeup. Another huge benefit is energy efficiency. Supercomputers today use massive amounts of electricity, but quantum computers are much more energy efficient. That could help solve one of the big challenges of our digital age: how to balance innovation with sustainability. Of course, there are still obstacles. Building a fully functioning quantum computer is tough because of problems like qubit stability and errors during calculations. But researchers are making progress, and many believe we're standing on the edge of a quantum revolution. The industry is already growing fast and could be worth $80 billion by 2040. Quantum computing isn't just about being faster, it's about solving problems that were impossible before. But as incredible as this technology is, there's another idea out there that could reshape the future in an even more profound way. Global unified currency. Picture a world where everyone uses the same money, no matter where they are. No exchange rates, no currency conversions. Just one currency for all of humanity. It might sound like something from a futuristic novel, but it's an idea that's been explored in both ancient texts and modern economic discussions. The Bible's book of Revelation talks about a time when no one will be able to buy or sell without a specific mark. Some believe this points to a unified global economic system. While the spiritual meaning of this passage is often debated, the practical idea of a single worldwide currency is fascinating to think about. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, took a step toward this concept back in 1969 with the creation of special drawing rights, or SDRs. SDRs aren't a physical currency, but they act as a kind of global reserve asset. They're used to stabilize economies during crises, with their value tied to a mix of major currencies like the US dollar and China's renminbi. A single global currency could eliminate the stress and confusion caused by fluctuating exchange rates. For businesses, it would mean simpler international trade and long-term financial planning without the risk of currency crashes. For governments, it could remove the need to constantly adjust monetary policies to protect their economies. Such a system could also prevent financial crises that happen when national currencies collapse. With one currency, trade and investment across borders would become smoother, leading to stronger global economic growth. But this vision isn't without challenges. Giving up national currencies means countries lose control over their own monetary policies. Political disagreements, economic inequalities, and the sheer complexity of implementing such a system are major roadblocks. Still, the benefits, like stability, predictability, and fewer financial disasters, make it an idea worth considering. As the world faces rapid changes in technology and economics, the thought of a single global currency raises big questions about unity and control. Could this be the key to a more connected future? Or would it create more problems than it solves? And there you have it, 10 prophecies that could redefine the future as we know it. Which one do you think is most likely to come true? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like button if this video blew your mind. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. We're just scratching the surface of what's possible. See you in the next one.